Thank you for listening. My name is Mike Strauss, aka Strauss21. I'm a mixed martial arts journalist. I currently contribute to bjpen.com, Low Kick MMA, CageSidePress.com. You could find my work there as well as my YouTube channel at aka Strauss21. And of course, the Did You See That Shit Mixed Martial Arts podcast that you are listening to right now. Here is my latest interview. I hope you enjoy it. I want to welcome Manny Vazquez to the show. 25 years old, 12-3, has a big fight coming up here February 15th. What's going on, man?
What's up, Mike? How you doing, man?
Doing fantastic. Glad we're finally doing this, man. In the Chicagoland area, you have been one of the best prospects, man, in a long time. You have a big fight coming up, man, against Eduardo Dantas. You're at Bellator 215. It's safe to say this is the biggest fight of your career, right?
Yeah, I'd say so. Definitely. I fought some tough guys, but he's probably the most famous guy I've fought. Yeah, I'm excited.
Of course, he's the former champion and Bellator's former bantamweight king. He's coming off of a rough KO loss to Michael McDonald. What are you expecting out of Dantas, man? I mean, he's a guy that was the very best in Bellator for a while. I really think he's still at that championship level, man. I mean, what are you expecting from him in this fight?
I definitely think he's still at the championship level. He got hurt. People get hurt. He looked good, in all his last fights. He had a bad loss to McDonald, but even against Caldwell, he had a great fight. He fought real well. He's super dangerous. I feel like I've fought guys like him before, though. Like, I feel like Ricardo Ramos was very similar to him, very explosive, Brazilian, tall, skinny, scrambly kind of guy. I'm not expecting anything I haven't seen. He's just, a really solid, good fighter,
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned Ricardo Ramos. That's a very good comparison. You have fought and beaten a lot of guys with similar builds and similar resumes. So no doubt, this is a fight that you can absolutely win. Have you brought in anybody specific for this camp to kind of help you prepare for Dantas?
I haven't brought anybody, specific. I've been working with a lot of good. I've got a lot of good guys in my camp. A lot of good strikers. I got a big, a lot of varied styles of guys in the gym. So. I don't have one specific guy, but I have guys that are really good strikers that can emulate his, explosiveness and his striking. One of those guys is, Adil Benjalani, another Bellator fighter. He's a stud. He's, pro level kickboxer. He's crazy. He's bigger and stronger than, Dantas is going to be too. I got Mike Demakis is a super good striker. I got a bunch of high level grapplers in the gym. I'm not worried about that. I'm really good at getting good guys at what they're good at, better than me at what they're good at, to kind of spar with, so that I'm not really surprised once they get out there.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. You're still at MTC, right? Midwest Training Center?
Yeah, I train at MTC. That's where I get a lot of my work, and I got a couple of different places I go. I go to 10th Planet Lombard. That's my jiu-jitsu gym. And my coach, Frank Lozano, over at Team 110, does a lot of pad work with me and gets my striking sharp.
Very cool. 10th Planet Lombard. That's 10 seconds from my house with Omar Ocasio. Super underrated dude, man. I think he's one of the very best around here. You're at one of the best places you could be in the state, man. I really believe that.
Absolutely.
This is going to be your second fight with Bellator, man. What's your contract situation? Did you just sign a one-fight deal with them?
No, I have a multi-fight deal. I've got I got 4 fights with them right now. This will be the first one on my contract. It's a hell of a way to jump right in there, but I'm excited, and I feel like I fight the best when I'm the underdog and I got no pressure on me. So I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, for sure. In 2017, you made an appearance on the Dana White, the Tuesday Night Contender Series. You lost a close, hard-fought decision to Joby Sanchez. Since then, he lost twice in the UFC. He's back in LFA now. Do you kind of feel that everything worked out better for you in the long run, man?
Yeah, I like where I'm at. I love what I'm doing. I was never, 100% I had to be with the UFC. I wanted to be with somebody where I could, be financially stable, promotion that would take care of me and let me do what I love to do, So I'm super excited to be with Bellator, and, I'm looking forward to it. I fought, Joby. I shouldn't have ever even done that fight. I made 125, and I was in rough shape. They were dragging me out of the bathtub trying to make weight. I couldn't even walk on my own. In hindsight, you look back on it, but it is what it is. But, yeah, I think it all worked out. I'm in a better spot than maybe it worked out for the best.
Yeah, no, I definitely think it did, man. I'm a huge fan of Bellator. I think they treat their fighters top notch, man. It's definitely they're a super classy organization all the way around. I'm super happy that you landed there. I mean, you're only 25 years old, man. I mean, it's incredible what you've already accomplished. When did you really start taking this fighting thing, and we'll include jiu-jitsu in there too. When were you like, this is what I want to do? When did that click for you?
Honestly, I'm super OCD, and I'm a perfectionist with things. So as soon as I started training MMA, I wanted to do it, intense and do it like a pro was doing it. So I tried to copy what these other pros were doing, from the very beginning when I was 17 years old, getting ready for my first AMI fight. I've always trained hard. I've always tried to, when I got camp coming up, I try not to slack, and I try to go on above and beyond with what I'm doing. Even when I was, 17, I was doing 5-minute rounds. I wasn't doing threes, even though I could have gotten away with it. I was always doing what I had to do. So I've been taking this serious since I got into it, really. I always felt like if I'm going to do it, I might as well, do it right, do it to be the best. What's the point otherwise? So,
no, for sure, bro. I hear you. I have that same attitude with a lot of things too. And I'm a father of a 13-year-old girl and a 7-year-old boy, and I try to instill that in them also.
Exactly.
If you're gonna do something, don't do it to be second
Don't
best.
half-ass it. Why even bother if you're not gonna see it through? I don't want any regrets down the road. I want to know I at least whether I become the number one guy in the world, whether no matter where it takes me. I just I want to know that I went all in and have no what ifs 20 years from now.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. You're like I said, man. You're only 25 years old, but yet you've competed. I mean, literally, you've competed at the United Combat League, XFO, King of the Cage, Bellator, Legacy. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. For a 25-year-old dude, you've literally. I mean, even the UFC, right? So,
yeah.
I mean, do you feel like being 25? Do you feel like one of your strengths is actually your experience?
No, absolutely. That's the funny thing too. It's like, yeah, everyone's always like, "Oh, you're so young. You're so young. Like, you got plenty of time." I'm like, yeah, but I've been in this for a little. What they don't understand is I've been in this for a long time. You know what I mean? Like, you got guys that are turning pro at 24, 23, and I've been doing this since I've been pro since I was 19. I've been fighting since I was, 17, 18, and yeah, I've definitely got the experience. I fought for all these promotions. I had to take a long road to get there because, I was never really supposed to be the guy to make it to this level. I didn't have a name. I didn't come from like a D1 wrestling background. I wasn't a BJJ world champion or anything, but, I had good people around me, and I knew I could do it, and kind of stuck with it and worked out.
Yeah.
But yeah, my experience is definitely a huge thing that I think people don't really think about. They're like, "Oh man, he's jumping into the deep end with these high level guys," and it's like, yeah, but I've been doing that. I've been doing that for a long time. I might be young, but there's not a lot I haven't seen already.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I mean, and the 2 or your 3 losses are to guys that were UFC guys. So I mean, it's not you're holding your own. You're more than holding your own in there, man. So
right, yeah.
Are you a football fan?
Honestly, man, not really. I watched the game yesterday because all my family and friends had it on. It was a real quiet night by the end of the night, but
heartbreaking.
No, I don't really. Yeah, I heard it was pretty disappointing. Yeah, everyone was pissed. We had a lot of Bears fans in the house, and they weren't very happy about
it. Before I let you go, music-wise, man, what is your favorite music to train and to kind of listen to get you up?
Oh man, I'm so random. I love old school rock is probably number one, but I love some '90s rap. I love some little bit like EDM. I love everything, man. It's just like if I like it, I like it. If I can I can vibe to it a little bit. It's on the playlist. I don't got a set thing, but my mom always had some AC/DC in the house, and I was always listening to that. So that'll probably always be number one.
Very cool, very cool. I'm all over the place too with my music. It's interesting though how you said '90s rap because I totally agree with you, man. The '90s rap is where it was.
Exactly.
Real quick, man, before I get you out of here, I want to give you a few minutes to shout out your coaches, sponsors, whatever you would like, man. The floor is yours, Manny.
All my coaches at MTC, 10th Planet Lombard, Franco Lozano, my sponsors, Fuji Sports, Noon Hydration, and all my friends and family who helped me out.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
It's gonna be a great night, man. Bellator 215, February 15th. You're taking on Eduardo Dantas. I believe, man, this is the first of 4 fights for you, and I believe you're about to make a big run here in Bellator.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Should be a fun one.
For sure. Take care, Manny. Best of luck to you, brother.
All right. See you later.
It's time.